Consider a simple math puzzle. A bat and ball together cost $1.10. The bat costs exactly $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? Almost instantly, a number jumps into your mind: 10 cents. The math seems obvious. It requires zero conscious effort to produce, and it feels entirely correct. But if the ball costs 10 cents and the bat is $1 more, the bat would cost $1.10. That brings the total to $1.20. The correct answer is 5 cents. The ease of generating that wrong answer exposes a vulnerability in how we process information. Our confidence in our own conscious, rational thinking routinely hides automatic, invisible errors. We can see a similar vulnerability in our basic perception. Look at these two horizontal lines. The bottom line clearly appears longer than the one above it. When we measure them, we find the horizontal lines are exactly identical in length. That even after you know this fact, your brain completely refuses to see them as equal. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman spent his career investigating this disconnect. His research demonstrates that the human mind operates as a battleground between two completely different systems of thought. System 2 is the conscious, logical monitor. It is the voice we identify as us. But beneath it lies System 1, an automatic, emotional operator that works in silence and dictates much of what we think and do. System 1 handles an enormous volume of data without asking for permission. When you drive down an empty highway, it processes the lines on the road, the distance to other cars, and your spatial awareness on autopilot. It recognizes anger in a voice. It completes familiar phrases without hesitation. It continuously scans the environment, seeking out patterns that require the lowest amount of mental friction, a state known as cognitive ease. But this high-speed processing comes with a severe limitation. System 1 cannot be turned off, and it is entirely incapable of experiencing doubt. It suppresses ambiguity to construct a single coherent story from whatever fragments of information it has. This immediate, reflexive processing keeps us alive when reacting to physical threats. Yet, because it cannot question its own conclusions, it reliably feeds us flawed impressions when evaluating complex situations. By contrast, System 2 can navigate complexity. If you try to multiply 24 by 17 in your head, your pupils dilate, your heart rate increases, and you experience a measurable drain on your physical energy. This intense focus has a tight capacity limit. When System 2 is heavily engaged, we can become effectively blind to our surroundings, failing to notice obvious anomalies, walking right through our field of vision. Because cognitive effort is physically demanding, System 2 operates by the law of least effort. It remains in a comfortable, low-energy state whenever possible, deeply reluctant to engage unless absolutely necessary. This reluctance creates a loophole called substitution. When faced with a difficult analytical question, System 1 automatically invents an easier, related question and answers that instead. We might judge a complex financial investment simply by how much we like the company's logo. Rather than expending the energy to verify if the answer actually addresses the original problem, the lazy monitor of System 2 simply accepts the substituted story. We make a snap judgment, and we believe we reasoned our way there. These cognitive shortcuts scale up to shape entire markets. On the trading floor, millions of dollars are routinely subjected to automatic biological biases. Consider a simple gamble. We flip a coin. If it lands on tails, you lose $100. If it lands on heads, you win $150. Mathematically, the potential gain outweighs the potential risk. Over time, taking this bet is highly profitable. Yet when offered this exact scenario, the vast majority of people refuse to play. This chart shows loss aversion. The emotional pain of losing money is twice as intense as the pleasure of gaining it. The abrupt, steep drop-off where gains turn into losses proves our risk aversion is tied to biological emotion, not financial utility. When you multiply this biological fear across populations, it dictates the global economy. Trade agreements stall, real estate negotiations break down, and stock portfolios underperform because participants prioritize the avoidance of pain over rational optimization. This dynamic plays out in high-stakes environments everywhere. Professional golfers putt much more accurately to avoid a bogey than they do to score a birdie. We cannot uninstall System 1. The automatic associative machine will always fire first, and the illusions it generates will continue to feel like absolute truth. We can build a diagnostic vocabulary. By identifying phenomena like substitution and loss aversion, we can recognize specific environments and high-stress situations where our intuition is likely to betray us. When we learn the signs of a cognitive minefield, we gain a choice. We can notice the feeling of cognitive ease, deliberately wake our monitor, and do the hard work of thinking slowly.